144 then for Afghanistan in what's a must-win match for them. They won the toss, decided to bat first at the Gabba, and in a quiet last over that was bowled by Wanindu Hasaranga pretty much sums up that innings. It was quiet for the large part of it. It started quite well. They got 48 in the power play without loss. We thought maybe Afghanistan might be pushing their way closer to that 160 plus score. As it turns out, they're much closer to what Tom Moody predicted than Robin Uthappa and Farveez Maharoof on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 timeout. So, Tom, 144 is closer to your prediction. I'm guessing you'd say Sri Lanka would take that?
I think they'd be happy with that, but still, there's a lot around Sri Lanka's bowling and fielding performance that needs sharpening up if they're seriously want to continue in this tournament and be competitive. Sloppy with wides, no balls, and in the field, I thought they probably could have kept it to sort of that 130 region.
Now let's ask Farveez if he'd be a happy man. He's always a nervous man when Sri Lanka have to chase. But are you happy with 144, Farveez?
If you'd asked me before the toss, if I'd taken 144, definitely would have taken. And also, whenever Sri Lanka chases, I'm very nervous. I've got to be very honest. Especially like a bowling attack of Afghanistan was very, very experienced in these conditions. So going into the break, yes, the momentum is with Sri Lanka, but what Afghanistan has in their armory is that runs on the board always can be key.
I haven't seen Wanindu Hasaranga bowl the last over very often, Farveez. Take me through that, and is it something that you'd like to see more of in the future?
It depends on the grounds, Raunak. I understand why he's been used, and also with the timeline. Maybe he was trying to keep him with Dasun Chana trying to keep him in the latter overs. But I mean, with better teams, I would not risk it, especially with Wanindu Hasaranga. But today, magnificent fielding effort, 4 overs for 13 without a boundary conceded. It just what was his day. I mean, they say when the big game comes, the big player stands up. So I think Wanindu Hasaranga showed what sort of a character he can be when he wants to.
All right. Lots of 20s, Robbie. Nobody getting that big score. What does that tell you normally when you look at a batting card like that?
Well, I think that's the difference between a 144 and a 165, right? I think when you have someone who's anchoring that innings, then give yourself a better chance. It doesn't guarantee you stuff, but it definitely gives yourself your team a better chance to get that 160, 165 total.
At these grounds, is it hard sometimes for a batter to shift gears? They look all right when they got 20s, and then suddenly when they have to play the big shot, they find the fielders. These big grounds, what's the challenge here? What's lacking?
Well, I think it's a matter of understanding what the situation is, and I think the Afghanistan batsmen kind of misread the situations on more than one occasion. There, when they were set, when someone had to bat through, one of them didn't do that. At least you should at least have 1 or 2 guys who are willing to do that for your side, especially and we're at the back end of the tournament now, well and truly, right? As in the business end, as we call it. Yeah. You should have enough information about the conditions and the grounds to know that even 165 is a more than enough total to defend.
There's a theory among a lot of, I'm sure, Indian fans and IPL fans, Tom, that Rashid Khan, the batter, is underutilized by the Afghanistan side. We've seen some match-winning innings over the years in the IPL with him. Is that a sound observation? Do you think Afghanistan could use him more?
Oh, look, we all know he's a dangerous player, but the odds of him coming off, what is it, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, he can be very effective. And I think you use him according to who you're playing against. If he's playing against high pace, you probably wouldn't look to use him as an option. But anything around spin or anything sort of in that sort of mid 130 range, he's a dangerous player. He sort of hits pockets that you don't expect. He's got an unusual way of finding boundaries. And I suppose the bonus is a bit like Sun on the Rhine in a sense that he's not going to waste balls. If he goes out there, he'll let you know very quickly whether he's going to do some damage or otherwise you've lost a wicket. A lot of people, I found it always interesting. A lot of people would say, why don't you throw him up at the top of the order?
Yeah.
It's where I think that why would you do that when you've got qualified people that are better suited to be taking on that opportunity and using those balls to be able to get those match-winning innings of 70 plus?
Is he one who likes to throw that in? Like, I want to go up to date. Does he ever sort of have that?
Not really. But he's always interested whenever you have elevated him in the past.
It won't come from him. He won't.
No, but he'll jump at it. He'll have his pads on. He'll be ready to go in about 30 seconds. Right. He'll be the quickest to be ready to go.
Can he be used like Narayan? You know that the use of that equation better than most people, and what the impact is on the others, perhaps. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe I'm a little biased here, but I wouldn't advocate that because, like he said, I think there are more qualified guys who can actually do the job for you. Yeah, once in a while, yeah, why not? As in, as a novelty, sure, but not as the norm.
All right, fair enough. Is there anything to take away from how Afghanistan batted on whether this 1-4-5 would be easy for Sri Lanka? Farveez, what are we taking in terms of just the batting approach now in what's a must-win game?
I wouldn't call it an easy chase. I mean, it's going to be hard work for sure. But Sri Lanka can take a little bit of lessons from Afghanistan. What they did well was pushing those ones into twos and twos into threes, and that's where I think the game will be called. Huge boundaries, big pockets. So I reckon team who does well in that department, Sri Lanka should target that. And also Pathum Nissanka and Kusal Mendis, one of those two should at least bat to 16, 17. Though I keep saying it, that's where the best chance of Sri Lanka winning it, and the rest of the batters to bat around and play the natural game.
Farveez talks about lessons for Sri Lanka from Afghanistan. The other way around too, for Rashid Khan and Mujib looking at Hasaranga, this 1-4-5 may not be as straightforward, Tom?
Look, I don't think there's a huge amount of turn in the surface. I just thought Hasaranga, unlike what he did at Perth Stadium, I think he found the right length on a bouncing surface. We saw a lot of balls bounce up into the top half of the bat. So I think, it just shows his class, how quickly he's adjusted his length to the surface. It certainly won't be easy, but I think the lesson learned is very simple. Don't get 20. If you get 20, make sure you turn that into a match-winning innings. 20 is not enough.
Sure. Prediction, Ravi?
Oh, I think close game. That's what my gut says. Because the Sri Lanka would need one of these guys, either Pathum Nissanka or Kusal Mendis, to kind of bat through. And Pathum Nissanka is someone who's done that for Sri Lanka, even in this World Cup. He's looked to bat through, and I think if he holds true to that, I think it should be.
So you're still saying Sri Lanka, though?
I'm still saying Sri Lanka, but I think it'll be close game.
Farveez, backing your team to do this?
Definitely, as Rabi said, either Pathum or Kusal Mendis to bat through, and Sri Lanka to win by 5 wickets.
Time for, he's given me a specific one. I was going to come for the specific prediction.
I'll tell you what, I was going to say they're going to win it in the 18th over, probably 18.1.
Right, okay. We're going to leave it there. 18.1. Tom's going for an easy win. Let me throw in an Afghanistan win, just for fun, right? I must say, though, Tom's been curiously gazing at that flag you've got on your lapel there. Can you tell me what that is, Robbie?
So this is my state flag. I'm from Karnataka, and today is Karnataka Rajotsava, the day Karnataka was actually formed into a state. So a very proud day for me.
I've lived there 1 year of my life, so I wish you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. I've visited there many times. So,
His fond memories
Tom is a citizen of the world.
Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Exactly. Won a title there.
Yes. Sorry, Farveez. What's that?
Happy memories.
Tom is a citizen of the world. Wherever he goes, it's his home.
Oh, he was waiting to throw that in. He's finally got a moment.
I thought we'd lost you.
All right, awesome. Ravi Uthappa, and to all our viewers from that part of the world, best wishes to you. So that's going to be home for you for the rest of your life, is it? You'd never consider moving.
Maybe not. I'm considering a lot of things. I don't necessarily like the traffic in my state, at least in my city.
Come to Mumbai. It's less challenging.
Yeah, it's more moving traffic than standstill traffic like we have in Bangalore.
All right, we leave it right there. Thank you very much to Robert Uthappa, Tom Moody, as well as Farveez. Maharoof. We will pick up the conversation at what will be the end of this important game and build up to England versus New Zealand. Join us then on Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout.